People say that as long as your phone has battery, you will come across a movie. Whether that is true or not is hard to say, but it is certain that while your phone still has power, you will find this extreme, restricted horror film. The movie consists of several bizarre and shocking short stories. The story begins with an old man who just celebrated the birth of his son. News comes from the hospital that both mother and child are safe. This should be a very happy occasion. However, from the old man's expression, there is not a single trace of joy. Instead, he goes to a special establishment to seek some comfort. Shockingly, most of the people in this place are children. Seeing the old man hesitate, the manager introduces him to the services of deformed people. At this point, it is easy to see that the old man has a severely twisted psyche. After a careful selection, the man chooses Laura, a girl born without eyes. Perhaps feeling guilty during their first meeting, the man gives the girl a pair of diamond eyes. Just like that, 17 years pass by. Today, Laura welcomes a regular customer. However, this woman is a bit short on cash lately. This time, she is strictly after Laura's diamond eyes. For years, to make herself look like a normal person, Laura always wears the diamond eyes while working. But this time, the fat woman threatens to report her to force her to take them off. Laura has no choice but to comply. Then, Bertha, the heavy woman, takes advantage of a moment when she isn't looking to steal the diamond right under her nose. But then, something unexpected happens. A bystander suddenly apologizes, explaining that they think the two are already finished. In a panic, Bertha swallows the gems. She immediately rushes to the bathroom. However, despite all her straining and effort, the gems do not come out. Left with no other option, Bertha decides to take a desperate risk. She removes the shower head and pumps a large amount of tap water into her body. Finally, through her persistent efforts, she successfully passes the gems. But what is baffling is that she plans to rinse them off and return the gems to Laura. However, Laura no longer needs the diamond eyes. She plans to retire from her profession. But before that, Laura has one small request. Because of her job, others are usually the ones touching her. This time, she wants to truly feel the skin of a normal person. Eventually, the two of them open a restaurant and live a happy, fulfilling life. But one day, the shop welcomes a strange customer named Samantha, the deformed woman. Her mouth and backside are in reversed positions. This not only gets her mocked by Fatty. Before coming to the restaurant, she happily uploaded a selfie to social media. But the platform moderators tell her that her photo is inappropriate and has been removed. However, Samantha has no time to care about that now. She just wants to eat quickly and leave this place. Just as she steps out of the restaurant, two local thugs target her. These two punks are very curious about the unique Samantha. One of them asks her a question. He asks if her butt is on her face. He wonders if that means her mouth is on her butt. He then tells his friend to hurry up and kiss her. As they speak, the two punks become increasingly out of line. The last bit of dignity Samantha has after leaving the restaurant is trampled by them. It looks like Samantha is about to be forced by them. In a critical moment, Samantha kicks the man, making him howl in pain. Taking advantage of the gap, she quickly hides in her car. Then she leaves the town without looking back. Because she isn't wearing a mask, her appearance is mocked by everyone. Just as Samantha feels down about this, an accident happens. A rebellious youth, who is about to say goodbye to his parents, is sleeping on the curb. This car accident takes away the young man's legs. However, he doesn't have the slightest bit of resentment. Instead, he looks at Samantha with a smile on his face. It is as if the collision is exactly what he wanted. In reality, Kevin, the troubled youth, always fantasizes about being a mermaid. To truly become a mermaid, he does not hesitate to use a utility knife to slash at his own thighs. Such abnormal behavior leads his mother, Martha, to believe that her son has severe psychological issues. Dr. Miller immediately sees that this stems from an unhappy family background. However, when the doctor asks about Kevin's father, Martha instantly explodes in anger. She strictly forbids him from mentioning her husband. Actually, they do not say much. The doctor just asks Kevin if he misses his father. Since his father abandons the family when he is young, any mention of the man makes Martha's emotions extremely unstable. She goes as far as pinning her son to the ground before pulling him back up to tear down his delusions. Regarding the mermaid fantasy, she believes her son is simply mentally ill. Because he lacks fatherly love and feels misunderstood, he chooses to sleep on the curb. He wants to pick a lucky person to give his legs to, and that person is Samantha. After the accident occurs, Kevin successfully loses his legs as he wishes. But at the same time, the crash takes his life. However, on the day the boy passes away, the father, who abandoned his wife and son 17 years ago, returns. As for the reason the old man left them, the mother has no idea. She simply assumes he had someone else on the outside. He claims he left to avoid hurting their son. He adds that he is very sick. The wife immediately realizes he is a pedophile. Hearing such a disgusting thing, she cannot help but gag. But that is not the point right now. The reason the boy wanted to become a mermaid is because of the mermaid tattoo on the father's up arm. So the boy believed that if he became a mermaid, his father would return. After returning from the accident scene, Samantha returns to her room feeling depressed. Her father asks what happened and if anyone saw her. He demands an answer. She replies that no one saw her. He asks if she went out without wearing her mask. She admits that she did. He questions if she thinks that is okay. Samantha asks what he wants her to do, and he tells her to cover her face. Hearing this makes Samantha even sadder. The next day, the father notices Samantha's unhappiness. So he gets up early and goes to town to pick out a birthday cake for her.
Cumpleaños feliz, te deseo, Samantha. Cumpleaños feliz. Pide un deseo y sopla la vela. Muy bien.
Unexpectedly, the gift her father buys her turns out to be a horse mask. Clearly, Samantha doesn't like the gift at all. Her father's gesture shows that he is also disgusted by her appearance. Then again, isn't her appearance determined by their genes? So, Samantha decisively chooses to run away from home. Unfortunately, she runs into those two thugs again. Judging by their expressions, they don't plan to let Samantha go this time. At the critical moment, Samantha bites off the man's private part. After suffering such humiliation, Samantha stands on the overpass with no hope left to live. Just as she is about to jump onto the tracks, she suddenly faints. That night, Samantha's ringtone attracts a stranger named David. He looks very refined and polite. However, a few days ago, he was pleasuring himself while looking at his ex-girlfriend's photo. His mother is furious seeing him in such a pathetic state. She eventually loses her patience and tells him to just get out. David is kicked out of the house by his mother. This makes him determined to win back his ex-girlfriend. However, his ex-girlfriend has already moved on with her life. She is living happily with a handsome older man. David is unaware of her new situation and tries to flirt with her immediately. But his ex-girlfriend knows deep down that he doesn't actually love her. He is simply attracted to her physical deformities. It is similar to how some people have a fetish for smelly feet. He doesn't care who the person is, as long as they have that specific trait. David is no different. He is only interested in her unusual appearance. Eventually, the woman gives him 30 euros for travel expenses. This gesture serves as a final and complete rejection. After being rejected by both women, David stands on a bridge. He contemplates jumping off to end it all. Just then, the sound of Samantha's phone ringing catches his attention. More importantly, Samantha's unique look is exactly what he desires. It is love at first sight for him. David then works up the courage to tell Samantha's father that he wants to be with her. Before long, the two of them are living a happy and fulfilling life together. While the film appears to be quite graphic and disturbing, it is filled with explicit content. However, the director's underlying message is actually quite simple. The film suggests that everyone should follow their heart and prioritize their own happiness. Pursuing one's dreams is a fundamental right, but determining who to live for is a complex dilemma. That is the end of today's story. Goodbye and see you in the next episodes.